What's up, everybody? It's just Mike here playing a Wi-Fi battle against a guy that I met on my stream named X. Hope you're having a fantastic time on Mount Silver Battles. I know I am, but you know what? We're here to talk about the game, so let's get right into it, shall we? But before we get started, I would love it if you could hit that like button right down there. It always helps out the channel, you know what I mean? Okay, well here we go. X is going to be issuing a challenge, and he's going to start by sending out his Flygon. He's got a really interesting team. I love this guy's team. But you know what? I'm going to lead off with my Rotom because I want to get a little bit of a scouting job done. I want to see if I can Volt Switch, but he actually goes for the switch before I get the chance to. He's going to U-turn right out and go into his, let's see, his Blastoise. Now you know what? I actually didn't really see this coming, so I used a Will-O-Wisp, assuming that I would go first. Now, this Flygon apparently is super fast, so it goes before my Rotom and gets that Blastoise out before I'm able to use it. So the Blastoise gets burned, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, just it doesn't really give the secondary boost of lowering his attack. Instead, what he's going to do is he's going to hard switch out into his Electivire and try and take a Volt Switch. Now, I didn't notice that he had an Electivire when I first started going into this battle, so I just went ahead and went for that Volt Switch, giving him the Motor Drive, upping his speed. Oh, so that wasn't good. So I decided to use a Will-O-Wisp because I want to lower his attack, but he manages to avoid it, and that's not the best thing for me. But on this turn, however, he does go for the Cross Chop, which doesn't end up taking me out, but it does end up burning his Electivire, so we're sitting pretty so far. I'm going to take my Rotom back, and I'm going to switch into my Mandibuzz, because I feel like my Mandibuzz can take really whatever he has to do, because even though he got the speed boost with his Motor Drive, as long as the Mandibuzz is there with the extreme bulk, he can really just tank anything that the Electivire has, and the speed boost isn't really going to make it an issue for me. So he's going to take some extra damage due to that Rocky Helmet and that burn. All that residual damage is just taking its toll on this Electivire. Oh my goodness. And you know what? This Mandibuzz is just going to knock off. It's going to roost. It's going to... Oh my gosh. This Mandibuzz is not going to go down. The knockoff brings it down to 1, but the burn actually ends up taking it out. So this guy goes down like a hot cake on a Sunday. Alright, so X is going to send out his next super Japanese character Pokemon named Porygon 2. Now the Porygon 2 is going to take a little bit of damage with the knockoff, but the most important thing is that I got off that Eviolite, if you know what I mean. Ooh. Unfortunately, he does get an Ice Beam off on me, which isn't always the best thing in the day, but what I can do is I can switch into my Scizor just to take anything that this guy has to throw my way. He's going to use a Tri-Attack, trying to get either the Paralysis, the Freeze, or the Burn on my newly switched in Scizor, and I'm going to just be like, you know what, whatever, I'm going to go for a Superpower. I can take out this thing, it doesn't have its Violet anymore, it doesn't matter. Pff, out comes the instrument of my destruction, Volcarona. Volcarona is not my favorite Pokemon in the land, just because it can completely take me out. So my Scizor is gonna hit it up with a superpower, which is only gonna do roughly half, which is, you know what, fine with me. But he's gonna get a little bit back with his leftovers. I'm gonna be switching out at this point because I'm afraid of a Fiery Dance. Fiery Dances are pretty much my bane, but I assumed that he would go for a Quiver Dance, so switching into my Breloom kind of was a smart idea on my part at the time, because, as you can see right here, it does have the Focus Sash. Breloom likes to get nice and focused during his battles. However, the Volcarona goes in for the Fiery Dance on the switch-in, which does bring me down to my Sash, so I can't go for a Rock Tomb, which would definitely have taken it out. Instead, now he's going to go for a Fiery Dance, get the special attack boost, and at the same time take out my Breloom, so everything is looking like poop to me right now. Not too happy about that. So the Volcarona is looking like it's going to pretty much take this game. It's back up to like 75%. I'm going to send out my shiny Latios. Ooh, shiny. And he's going to go for a Dragon Pulse just to try and get as much damage off of the Volcarona as I can. I bring it down to like 5%. 5%. And the Bug Buzz is going to come in. It's going to be in full effect due to that special attack boost. And it's just going to take me right out. Things are looking bad right now. Things are looking terrible right now. Volcarona is going to get a little bit more HP back, but you know what? I can send out my Scizor because I know that I have priority. Now, I know the Volcarona is pretty fast, but I felt like a Bullet Punch could actually take it out. Instead, he's going to switch out and go into his Flygon, but let me tell you something, mister. This Scizor has Bullet Punch, and Bullet Punch it does quite a bit of damage. Not only that, but my Scizor is choice banded, so 2 of these bullet punches will take that Flygon right out. I don't care if you're a Flygon, I don't care if you think you can take it, you can't. Alright, so this Blastoise is going to come back in, and he's burned. He doesn't want to, you know, be a Blastoise right now. So I'm going to switch right out into my Gardevoir because I know that this guy's probably going to use something like an Aura Sphere or some sort of fighting move that can take me out, because Blastoise, once he Mega Evolves right now, which, I mean, really, who doesn't run a Mega Blastoise, right? Post in the comments right down there if you run a non-Mega Blastoise, and tell me how you make it work, because I want to kind of make it work. I think that would be pretty cool. Anyway, he's going to go for the Aura Sphere due to the Mega Launcher and his increased stats on it, but my switch over to my defensive Gardevoir is going to take that like an absolute champ. Alright, so he's going to switch out his Blastoise back into his Porygon 2, and I think this is a pretty opportune time for me to Mega Evolve. So I'm going to go inside my little cocoon and I'm going to go blue like a beautiful butterfly, and I'm going to go, hey, I'm Mega Gardevoir and I'm here to ruin your day. If your name is Porygon 2, which just so happens, through all that Japanese text, it actually is. Nobody knew, I did though, so clearly that's Gardevoir just pretty much said it for me. So Gardevoir is going to use the Calm Mind because I feel like I can take any sort of attack that Porygon throws at me, but here's the clincher. You see that? I'm frozen. The Tri-Attack, it froze me. So I'm frozen for the first turn. The Tri-Attack's gonna hit me again, and look at this one. Whoa, that did a lot of damage. You know why? Because it was a crit. I'm frozen solid again. Second turn, by the way. That Tri-Attack's gonna hit me again, and boom, boom, boom. 3 hits hit me. I go down because it's a crit. Okay, so that Calm Mind didn't really seem to do all that much, so let it be learned that when you're going up against a Porygon, expect the unexpected. Anyway, I'm going to go for a U-turn because I'm pretty sure I can just take this thing out at any point. Because, you know what, this Porygon 2 just needs to go down. Scizor's going to come back to me, and I am going to finally switch. Not only that, I'm going to finally be able to take a breath and go into my Rotom. So he's going to send right out the Terrakion, and the Terrakion, you know what, I'm pretty sure I could kill. I was like, you know what, Rotom is pretty fast. I think I can take out a Terrakion. Turns out, no! Terrakion is actually faster than Rotom. Imagine that. So my Rotom's going to go down, unfortunately. But you know what? That's okay. 100% okay, because I can just send out my Scizor, and Scizor can just take out whatever it wants to with that Choice Banded Bullet Punch. Do you know how strong it is? Do you even know how strong it is? Choice Banded Bullet Punch Scizor can pretty much take out a train. He's going to send out his Blastoise, his burned Blastoise, and I am going to once again switch out because I am still afraid of that Aura Sphere. At this point, I'm going to send out my Mandibuzz just because I want my Mandibuzz to pretty much go down. And that Aura Sphere is going to, as I just said, go and take out the rest of my 24 HP. So down goes the Mandibuzz. Imagine that. But the Blastoise is going to take a little bit of residual damage just so that I have a little bit more of a chance to take it down. So this Scizor is going to come back in, and he's going to go for the U-turn once again. Because I'm under the firm belief that I could at least try and take it out. Turns out I could not. Because if I did go for a Bullet Punch, that would have been not very effective. His Aura Sphere brings me down to 6. 6! Let me tell you, 6! Now, in the stream at this point, I didn't know that the Volcarona was still alive. I was so, confident that I was probably going to win this. I was like, Scizor can probably outspeed anything that comes out. Volcarona comes out, and I'm like, oh. And he's gonna use the Fiery Dance and completely take me out. It's gonna take out 6 HP. Oh, man. But you know what? It was such a close game. That Volcarona was down to 20 HP. He was down to his last Pokemon. I lost 0 to 1. But you know what? That's the way the cookie crumbles. Some days we win, some days we lose. But as long as we have a fantastic game out of it, then you know what? I think that this game is worth playing. Now, you know what? Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Mount Silver Battles right down there. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed. And if by any chance you want to check out my stuff, you can go over to youtube.com/StillJustMike. You can look at all the links right up there. I've got my Twitter, I've got my Skype, I've got my YouTube. You can go all over there. Go see what I'm all about. I'll say hi to you. Say you're there from Mount Silver Battles. And you know what? We'll just have a good day. Anyway, you guys keep on doing your thing, and I'll be StillJustMike. We'll see you later.